Hey guys, just doing a little video update about the Yankee White security clearance compensation theft and the involvement of my local university. Now, I live at NAU and I have to deal with the housing office because I live in the dorms. They call it community living or campus living. That's the office name. I had an agreement with them that because of some mild asthma, that they would be able to have me live in a more central location on campus. Unfortunately, they declined to let me have that disability accommodation. Now, this is something that I discussed with them when I moved in to the dorms, which was, in the middle of summer, so months away from the fall semester starting. And when the fall semester came, just a couple weeks ahead of the fall semester, they actually reneged on their agreement and they said, well, too bad, we're going to have you move to South Campus. Now, I'm a very athletic person and I'm able to move fast and move far, but it's important to note that if I want to be able to have, be at my peak and have really good comprehension skills and process information as best as possible, it's best that I not trigger an asthma flare-up. But otherwise, I'm able to work, I'm able to, continue to exercise, etc., etc. And so it was a minor accommodation, but it's something that I got ahead of by discussing it with the folks long ahead of time. They changed their mind. The disability office said, sure, we could do something about it, no big deal. They changed their mind. I talked to the dean's office. He's like, oh, we could definitely do something about that. He called around, tried to get things done. The first day he was super optimistic. The next day, the dean brought his daughter and wanted me to marry her. And I declined. And he also declined the disability accommodation. And so it was just really, really pathetic and loserish. Somebody that would come visit the dorm often in a maintenance disguise was Saif Ulhuk. He works for NAU, and so does his mother. He stopped by my dorm room to offer up his mother for sex. She's a known whore, and I kind of declined. Right? She gets around, it's no big deal, whatever. But I declined. I mean, the guy's a loser. He offered me his wife too, and he's just like so desperate to try to get on good terms with me after everything that he did, that he wants me to forgive his debts. And so he's like, here, fuck my wife. Oh, that's not enough. Okay, here, fuck my mom. So you gotta imagine the levels of special needs that fella is. And so, as a way to continue to harass me, he wears a NAU uniform and he stalks me on campus and says, oh, I need to do maintenance on this, maintenance on that. Oh, I need to check which rooms are occupied. And so weeks after I had moved out to my new dorm, or days that is, they kept calling me and they're like, hey, you haven't moved out yet. We're going to have to move forward with an eviction. And guess who it is that takes care of moving me in and out of dorms? None other than Saif Ulhuk and his mother, right? They're the ones who took on that job role with NAU. Lord knows who they bribed for how much, but they took on that job role because they're trying to portray me as somebody that needs to be evicted. Now, this is not their first time they try to move forward with some sort of frivolous eviction to try to paint me as a bad guy in their lives. Saif Ulhuk did this to me at 3459 North Apache Court as well. I had moved out, I had turned in the keys, I had taken photo and video documentation of it, and he still uh, attempted to portray me as somebody that was trying to squat in his home. The reason he was trying to portray that is because I got a restraining order, and the judge granted um, granted me exclusive living rights to the household that he also once lived in, and so to try to paint me as some sort of squatter or bad guy after the judge ruled against him in that case for pointing guns at me and threatening me for not giving him my security clearance compensation. I moved forward and talked to the judge, and I said, hey, this, that, the other. And yeah, I moved on, and that's that. And then, yes, I'm over here at my new dorm room. My new dorm mate recently moved in. His name is Joshua Gus. He's somebody that actually went to elementary school with me. He works for UPS, as far as I know, and has a little bit of history with the military. And so it's not a coincidence that he was moved into my dorm as well. Saif Ulhaq and his clown fellows like to try to associate me with folks from Wagner Elementary School because they want to pose themselves as my old community that's quote-unquote looking after me. And Saif Ulhaq is doing this out of spite because he found out that he has fetal alcohol syndrome and his community was in fact looking after him. And yeah, I mean, that's that. I just happened to have reached out to Gabriella Mihailovich. She reached out to me in person, and she let me know that General Puhek's daughter was posing as her in pornography, and it really upset her that I was portrayed with her, and it was posted online, and it made her feel really gross, and justifiably so. And I said, look, I have this security clearance compensation on the way. We can try to get you some money from it so you don't have to think about this again. And we could even use that money to fund the lawyers to look into the matter of people treating you like that and whatnot. And this is a person that I really love. You know, I grew up with him, great person. And so I had no qualms about saying, yeah, if you know, the rumor is true and this thing that I'm owed is more than such and such billion, then, you know, this small fraction of money is a manageable amount, and it should be able to help you move forward from this disaster, basically. And so that's as far as people I'm involved with and people I bumped into, that's that. General Charles Brown, he's the fucking loser, Secretary of the Air Force that got caught banging a hooker, and so as a bribe, right? He got bribed. It's not like he was just with a sex worker. That's no big deal, and I'm very familiar with how common that is. It's not a huge deal. It's whatever. You know, everybody knows Saif Ulhaq's wife, but he is trying to portray me as a racist for what he got caught doing, and so he keeps inserting himself in my life. So just today I was at the Dollar General just picking up some things down in Flagstaff, and of course pedaling my bike there, so I was a little bit tired, you know, and when I get a little tired I get a little foggy because of the asthma, right? It's nothing so extreme that it's a danger to me or others, but it's enough to where if I'm in an educational setting and I want to challenge myself and apply myself to my fullest, you know, I prefer to be living a little bit closer to where I'm going because it helps. But anyways, that aside, General Charles Brown, the former Secretary of the Air Force, would stand in front of me in line and try to provoke me. into racist this and that. Same with Saiful Haq. He would always follow me around. And, just yesterday, he was over at, or the day before, anyhow, he was over at Home Depot, trying to act as a middle-aged man, following me around, and so to look for excuses to cover up their mess, right? Saiful Haq is trying to portray me as somebody that gets evicted and doesn't move out when he's supposed to or something, because somehow that cleans up the fact that I got a restraining order against him for threatening to shoot me with a loaded firearm. And one is ashamed of being bribed by Saif Abdullah's brothel. Saif Abdullah is a politician and a general with the Navy, so an admiral, and so to cover that matter up, and he's just trying to say that, oh well, Mo is racist, and so therefore, me being caught putting national security at risk is null and void. It's quite loserish. I'm really sad to see it, but yeah, that's that. That's just what's going on. I wish everybody the best. It's not like I'm withholding money from them, and trying to starve out the intelligence community. But there are pathways to sustainability that are reasonable and justifiable, and then there is stringing somebody along for 10 years and basically enslaving them and then robbing them of the compensation of their enslavement. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys listening. Take care now.